The protected nature of Antarctica, the fifth largest continent in terms of area, is important for the ecological balance of the world. Antarctica is considered to be the future source of water and food security for our planet, thanks to its living marine resources and the water trapped in its glaciers. Antarctic ocean currents act as a global thermostat regulating the world's climate. The continent is estimated to be rich in mineral resources. Antarctica is a natural laboratory for climate research, geophysics, biology, space sciences, and other branches of science. Countries that attach importance to science and aim to advance in science conduct scientific programs in Antarctica and establish scientific bases on the continent. However, not everything is as it seems. The fact that there is a flight ban around Antarctica, that unauthorized photo sharing is prohibited, and that tourist expeditions are only allowed to see a place the size of a city in this continent, which has an area larger than the American continent, leaves people in doubt. Apart from this, an increasing number of revelations and photographs have attracted people's attention in recent years. In addition to all these, especially artificial photographs made with the help of artificial intelligence continue to confuse people. Unfortunately, these images are perhaps one of the oldest methods that some people use in cover-up operations in order to lose the seriousness of the matter. So first degenerate the event, then surround it with crazy conspiracies and confuse people. In this video, we wanted to take a look at some of the most concrete facts documenting the strangeness of the continent, as well as some unproven and unsound revelations. So let the video begin. Antarctica has long served as the backdrop for peculiar speculations, encompassing UFO sightings and extraterrestrial enclaves as far back as the 1930s. It has been asserted that Adolf Hitler harbored intentions to construct bases there during his reign, with some individuals even opining that he successfully executed this endeavor. Operation High Jump, which occurred in 1946, involved a heavily armed United States naval fleet that aimed to establish American dominion over Antarctica. Originally planned as an 8-month endeavor, the mission unexpectedly concluded after a mere 8 weeks, reportedly due to adverse weather conditions. However, intriguing details surrounding this operation prompt questions regarding its true purpose and necessity. Specifically, why did the Navy deploy 12 separate ships, including a destroyer and an aircraft carrier, along with 15 airplanes, 6 helicopters, numerous troops and personnel, and various other resources, when it could have undertaken the expedition with only one vessel for scientific research and perhaps another for protection? Additionally, it is curious that a distinguished Navy Admiral, Richard Byrd, was appointed to lead this extensive operation. Yet, when Admiral Byrd began making sensational claims upon his return, government authorities promptly silenced him by subjecting him to surveillance and ultimately detaining him in a psychiatric facility, branding him as mentally unstable. Furthermore, it is worth noting that Operation High Jump was initiated immediately after the conclusion of World War II. Intriguingly, the fleet encountered damages during its return, allegedly as a result of being caught in a storm. These circumstances leave us pondering what truly unfolded during this expedition, as there has yet to be a satisfactory explanation for the fleet's swift return. Let's take a look at what happened in the following years. In 1985, during a flight near the South Pole, the crew witnessed an astonishing sight, a massive hole in the ice fields resembling the size of a football field. However, upon returning to the base, instead of being greeted by the Navy, they were met by government officials in suits. Unfortunately, the details of their conversations and whether any reports were made remain unknown. We solely rely on the verbal accounts of some of the officers involved in the flight to shed light on this incident. Jumping forward to the late 1990s, naval flight crews reported an inexplicable phenomenon, a flight of silvery discs soaring above mountain peaks. Startlingly, these crews were cautioned never to disclose their encounters with the mysterious discs. In 2003, a classified mission led a Navy ship to stumble upon an ancient structure hidden beneath the ice. This intriguing edifice appeared to be constructed of a substance resembling stone, yet not entirely stone. It emitted warmth when touched and housed a conspicuous doorway. Subsequently, in 2018, scientists in Antarctica undertook a scientific endeavor involving the launch of weather balloons to investigate cosmic rays originating from space and striking Earth. As anticipated, they confirmed the existence of cosmic rays, but what they did not expect was that these cosmic rays emerged from 3 kilometers beneath the ice. Witnesses stationed in Antarctica have encountered, perceived, and experienced phenomena that defy conventional explanation. Yet, the true nature of these events remains a mystery. A flight engineer from the crew of the U.S. Navy's C-130 describes an incident that happened in November 1995. 15 scientists camped in an area of southwest Antarctica known as Murray Birdland had not been heard from for several days. The scientists were from the National Science Foundation, and their mission was routine. They were to study weather conditions, take ice samples, observe harsh life, and so on. They had no reason to move away from the campsite. To study the situation, the C-130 team's plane was sent from McMurdo Base, a few hundred kilometers east of the camp. The crew could easily see the camp. The weather was clear and visibility was good. They could see the huts, the fuel tank, some equipment. Even the snowmobiles were lined up. Everything looked normal. The rescue team got off and took a look around. The science team that had arrived here about a week ago and had enough supplies for a month had disappeared without a trace. There were no bodies. There was no sign of a struggle. It was as if they had suddenly disappeared. Then the order came again from the main base. There is nothing you can do. Make one last search flight and return to base. The C-130 then made several more wide circles, looking for any sign of the science team. There was nothing. About an hour later, they flew back to McMurdo. The mystery of the missing scientists continues to bewilder, as Antarctica proves to be a treacherous terrain. The possibility of death and unforeseen accidents loom over the icy landscape. However, after more than a week, the crew of the C-130 aircraft received an urgent command to return to the camp at Murray Birdland. To everyone's surprise, the scientists had miraculously reappeared. Their reappearance was triggered by a distress signal over the radio, causing them to panic and desperately seek a way out. Overwhelmed with shock, they seemed to be in a catatonic state, yet physically unharmed. The rescue team escorted the science team away from the perilous location. Upon their return, the secretive U.S. government officials, dressed in black, held clandestine meetings with the rescue crew. The crew was strictly ordered to maintain absolute confidentiality concerning the entire incident. Antarctica, considered one of the most remote and unexplored areas on Earth, remains largely hidden beneath its frozen expanse. Roughly 90% of the continent is encased in colossal ice sheets, stretching as thick as 2 to 3 miles. Despite its harsh weather conditions and limited accessibility, Antarctica has become a realm of fascination and discovery, where intriguing findings hint at the presence of extraterrestrial activity, advanced technologies, and lost civilizations residing beneath the icy shelves. Recent satellite imagery has unveiled a series of pyramids and structures resembling pyramids protruding from the frigid terrain. While authorities claim these formations to be of natural origin, one pyramid stands out, built with precision and displaying geometric perfection, as each side aligns perfectly with the cardinal directions. Such a pristine formation, exhibiting meticulous design, cannot be simply attributed to natural processes alone. A massive pyramid, spanning 2 kilometers in width, has been unearthed. It is speculated to be the most ancient pyramid globally, with others presumed to have been constructed subsequently. Could this be another clue that an ancient race built these monuments to generate energy? And this brings us to the story of Tesla trying to create unlimited wireless energy with his Wardenclyffe Tower experiments. Tesla attempted to utilize a technology believed to have been employed in the construction of ancient Egyptian pyramids long ago. 90 million years ago, Antarctica was deliberately organized. First of all, there are core samples that prove this. This is not controversial. Geologists claim that Antarctica has been frozen and uninhabitable for more than 12 million years. So who built the pyramids under hundreds or thousands of kilometers of ice? The answer is no one. But could Antarctica have had a warmer climate more recently than 12 million years ago? The Pinkerton map, drawn in 1818, was considered the most accurate map of the world at that time. If you observe the southern hemisphere on this map, you will notice that it only shows an expanse of open sea. This corresponds with the fact that Antarctica remained unknown until its discovery in 1820, and subsequently confirmed as a landmass in 1840. However, older maps from as early as 1515 depict Antarctica not as a massive frozen continent, but rather as a land inhabited by ice-free plants and animals. In 1513, the Peary Race map was compiled, which provides a depiction of Antarctica's coastline and the wildlife present there. The Orontes Pineus map, dated 1531, goes beyond just the coastal areas and portrays the interior features of the continent, including the mountain ranges, which we now know to exist. Interestingly, the Peary Race map only highlights the coastal region of Antarctica, while the Orontes Pineus map shows the entire continent free of ice. Modern satellite imagery has confirmed the presence of these formations, albeit not as vast as portrayed in the maps, as they are now covered by kilometers of ice. Traveling to Antarctica during the time these historical maps were created, in the 1500s, would present one with the same icy desert landscape found today. However, the historical maps do not align with this depiction. This discrepancy arises because these maps are based on even more ancient maps. The crucial question remains: how old are these maps? Unfortunately, mainstream scientists are unwilling to provide an answer, likely because it contradicts the accepted idea that Antarctica remained ice-covered for at least the last 6,000 years. It is important to note that humanity did not possess the means to circumnavigate the globe by ship during the presumed time frame when Antarctica was ice-free. Nonetheless, the Orontes Pineus map defies this convention by showcasing the entire continent without ice. Is it possible? Due to being based on a map drawn 12,000 years ago, as opposed to 6,000 years ago. Thus, Antarctica would not have been covered in ice back then, because it wasn't at the South Pole. Charles Hapgood was a Harvard-educated historian and explorer. His radical theories on the geological history of the Earth made him a famous and controversial figure. Hapgood believed that Antarctica had a temperate climate in the recent past, and that its inhabitants were an advanced ancient civilization. Atlantis, a civilization once thrived in the continent of Antarctica, although not at its current location near the South Pole. Antarctica is an expansive landmass with ample space for habitation, as long as it remains devoid of ice cover. However, a sudden and violent crustal shift occurred around 12,000 years ago, propelling Antarctica towards the frigid polar latitudes. Renowned scholar Hapgood postulated that substantial surface areas of the planet could undergo drastic shifts along the melted inner layers, leading to the rapid transformation of entire continents. Hapgood substantiated his theory by utilizing a map of the Orontes Pineus. As a result of this upheaval, Antarctica's position altered significantly, relocating approximately 1,500 kilometers away from the South Pole. Consequently, the continent experienced a pole shift of 7.5 degrees. According to Hapgood, this displacement could have occurred within a short span of less than a week, possibly even as abruptly as within a single day. Consequently, if Hapgood's assertions proved accurate, the consequences would be utterly catastrophic. In the event of such a sudden alteration, any existing civilization in Antarctica would undoubtedly face complete annihilation, with ice sheets instantaneously engulfing the area. It is important to note that the Earth's crust, floating atop the mantle, remains in constant movement. Tectonic plates separate from each other and converge, geological activities that typically require millions of years to manifest significant changes. Consequently, the cause that could precipitate a 7.5 degrees shift in the Earth's poles within a single day remains a perplexing question. In 1974, Flavio Barbari-Erov, an Italian marine engineer, released a book titled A Civilization Under the Ice. In his publication, he postulated the possibility of an ancient civilization existing beneath the icy surface of Antarctica. According to Erov, Antarctica was once a temperate region that housed an advanced society. He further theorized that a significant event caused the entire continent to abruptly shift to the southernmost point on the Earth. This event could have been triggered by a colossal asteroid impact approximately 12 to 13,000 years ago, resulting in a significant displacement of the Earth's crust. It is a well-known fact that 12,800 years ago, the Earth experienced a sudden warming period. As a consequence of this warming, the planet's ice sheets melted, causing a substantial rise in sea levels. Moreover, what if this melting and thawing process led to a 7.5 degree shift in the Earth's poles? This intriguing information aligns startlingly well with the legend of Atlantis. The elements of an island nation, an advanced population, and a calamitous incident seem to fall into perfect chronology. However, questions arise regarding the fate of the Atlantean city as the ice continued to amass. Did they evacuate? Where did they go? Surprisingly, the answer seems to lie in their refusal to leave. They are presumed to still remain there beneath the icy depths. In the year 2003, a reconnaissance mission was covertly conducted by a Navy SEAL team dispatched from McMurdo Base to the Burtmore Glacier vicinity. Their objective was to locate a scientist, assist in completing their research, and safely escort them back to the base. The chosen codename for the leader of the SEAL team was Spartan 1. Notably, they were explicitly informed of the paramount importance of protecting the research at all costs. Spartan 1, of course, accepted this strange request. Apparently, this researcher had only gone to photograph a glacier. Why could this be so secret? That was true, but it was actually more than that. As the SEAL team approached their target, they saw the top of a black octagon. It was about 5.5 meters high, rising above the melting ice and snow. Spartan 1 approached and saw a giant door. The door was 7 meters high, and the two lines running through its center had markings that looked like a star map. Spartan 1 pushed the door gently. The door was 6 meters high and 5 meters thick. It opened easily. It was perfectly balanced. The SEAL team entered the building. The outside temperature was minus 40 degrees. The temperature inside the building was about plus 20 degrees. The door closed quietly behind them, and the room was huge. It covered 9 acres. The room was as wide as 7 football fields. It took the Spartan team a long time to walk along the corridor. The walls emitted a gentle glow of lime green light, and its origin remained unseen. It appeared as though the light emanated directly from the walls themselves, which were adorned with numerous rows of meticulously carved characters. Spartan 1 likened the symbols they encountered to Egyptian hieroglyphs and Mayan hieroglyphs, yet they were unique and did not match either. The SEAL team discovered a scientist photographing and collecting samples of the structure. Curious about its size, they inquired, and the scientist gestured towards a ramp that led to the rest of the building. He revealed that it covered a vast expanse of 62 acres, mostly hidden beneath the ice. Astonishingly, this was only one of many structures present in the area. During the early 1980s, an aerial crew flew over the meteorological station grounds for a patient transport. As inclement weather forced them into a no-fly zone, they stumbled upon something astounding. There, in the ice, was a colossal hole spanning 90 meters wide, with tracks leading into it. Perplexed by its existence and lack of knowledge about it, they couldn't fathom the purpose of this enigmatic cavity. Upon their return, the team was summoned to the commander's office, where an unfamiliar high-ranking officer awaited them. Flanking him were 2 individuals clad in black suits. With great difficulty, the team conveyed that they had no choice but to proceed with the flight ban in order to save the patient's life. They were ordered to maintain strict secrecy regarding the incident, a vow they all agreed to uphold. However, someone eventually broke the silence, resulting in the leak of information to the public. Rumors began to circulate, suggesting that the 90-meter hole carved into the ice served as the entrance to a collaborative human-alien base. Despite the government's attempts to conceal their activities, inexplicable photographs gradually emerged. A suspicious image discovered on Google Earth displayed the cave entrance, accompanied by steps exhibiting a change in color, implying activity in the area. The clandestine stories persisted, even receiving attention through a headline in 2002. The captivating remains found in Antarctica shocked many, but a television crew sent to investigate an archaeological dig mysteriously vanished, leaving behind only a cryptic video. The wealth of stories, rumors, and legends pertaining to Antarctica is so vast that it cannot be encompassed in a single video. Distinguishing truth from fiction becomes complex. To the best of our knowledge, no photos depicting what I refer to as carved in the ice exist. The fate of the missing scientists remains shrouded in mystery. Furthermore, there is no information available regarding the unnamed air officer who recounted his experiences. Nevertheless, multiple witnesses have confirmed reports of his sightings of fast-moving UFOs in Antarctica. The authenticity of the pyramid photographs presents an even greater conundrum. While some merely resemble jagged rocks, Others undeniably possess a man-made appearance. As for the Navy SEAL who supposedly discovered the extraterrestrial structure and explored its interior, he remains the sole narrator of this tale. Yet, he refuses to disclose his identity or affirm his association with any specific Navy SEAL team. Consequently, our only source of information is the testimony provided by this individual. Unfortunately, independent exploration of Antarctica is prohibited. Officially, this restriction exists to protect the delicate ecosystem from human disturbances. However, if the whistleblowers are indeed truthful, the United States would already have violated the treaty. Their claims allege ongoing large-scale archaeological projects occurring beneath the ice with the cooperation of various nations. It is plausible that the treaty has yet to be breached, and that all governments are collectively engaged in searching for something. Alternatively, they may be concealing the truth. Could ancient civilizations be preserved beneath the icy depths, frozen in time similar to the city of Pompeii? Undoubtedly, such a possibility exists. However, unless excavation is permitted, we shall remain ignorant. There is also the question of whether an active civilization could exist beneath the ice. From a scientific perspective, this is plausible considering Antarctica's status as the most volcanically active region on Earth. Geothermal heat could provide fresh water and a habitable climate, creating conditions suitable for intelligent life. Furthermore, larger-than-life caves are said to exist beneath the ice. Alas, until access is granted for excavation, the extent of what lies beneath shall remain a mystery. However, an important factor should be considered: global warming. Opining it to be a global conspiracy. Nevertheless, and a sudden warming event does occur, any hidden civilization under Antarctica would emerge. In other words, should this global catastrophe transpire, the revelation of an unknown civilization would be the inevitable outcome. But I sincerely hope you found it intriguing. Remember to show your support by liking this content. Stay in good health.